She looked me straight in the eye that night and said, "You're suffocating me. I need to live alone for a while." I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just said quietly, "I want you to be happy." And that was that.By the weekend. I was hauling my life into a U-Haul, but let me back up a bit. It all started on a Thursday morning when I got that dreaded text, "We need to talk." You know that feeling? When your stomach just drops and your brain starts replaying every conversation from the past month trying to figure out what you did wrong? Yeah, that was me. Ashley and I had been living together for almost 2 years. We had this nice 2-bedroom apartment, my lease, my credit, my name on every single utility. She moved in after we'd been dating a while, and for the most part, it worked. We split everything down the middle. 50-50. Reliable, steady. At least, that's how it started. That evening, she sat me down on the couch with this rehearsed, almost corporate tone. Like she was pitching a new lifestyle plan. "I just feel like I'm losing my identity living with you," she said, crossing her legs and clasping her hands like she was on a talk show. "I need my own space to breathe. You're not doing anything wrong, but I'm suffocating. I need to live alone for a while. This isn't a breakup, I just need to rediscover who I am." She had all the lines ready. Every sentence sounded like it came straight out of a self-help book. I sat there, listening, nodding, pretending to stay calm while my chest felt tight. Finally, I asked, "Is there someone else?" She looked instantly offended. "See? This is exactly what I mean. You're always so suspicious. I just need independence." Right. Independence. Here's what made it sting. For months, I'd been quietly paying about 70% of everything. Rent, bills, groceries. Her freelance photography business was building momentum, as she liked to put it. So I carried the load while she found herself artistically. Every utility, internet, water, electricity, was in my name. Auto-debited from my account. She'd Venmo me her half, except that half had slowly turned into a third, then a quarter. So I asked, as calmly as I could, "What exactly are you thinking?" Her eyes brightened. "I found this studio downtown. It's perfect for me, great light for my photos. I can move in next month. We can still date, you know, just with space." I stared at her. "You want me to move out?" She hesitated, then said, "Well, it just makes more sense for you to find somewhere else. This place is perfect for my photography equipment. And you work from home, you can do that anywhere." The audacity. The apartment I'd lived in for 4 years, the one I furnished, the one where my entire home office was set up, was suddenly perfect for her. I felt this cold calm settle over me. I just said, "Okay. I want you to be happy." Her whole face lit up, like I'd just agreed to fund her dream. She hugged me tight, kissed my cheek, and started talking about how this would make us stronger. 2 days later, while she was out scouting photo locations, I rented a U-Haul. And that's when things really started to get interesting, when Ashley came back from what she called a photography workshop. Later I found out it was actually brunch with her friends celebrating her brave decision. She stopped cold in the doorway. Her mouth actually hung open. Half the apartment was bare. My desk? Gone. Dual monitors? Packed. The whole command center I'd built for work, dismantled and loaded. The living room looked like a stage after the curtain call, TV missing, my gaming console unplugged and wrapped in bubble wrap, the coffee table I'd restored by hand nowhere in sight. The kitchen counters were stripped clean, KitchenAid mixer, espresso machine, air fryer, the whole shiny lineup. I even took the shower curtain because, well, technically I bought that too, and at this point I was itemizing like a tax auditor with a tape gun. She blinked at the empty spaces. What are you doing?" I slid the last box of books under my arm, the cardboard rasping against my sleeve. "You said you needed space to find yourself," I told her, steady and quiet. "I'm giving you all the space you need." Her eyes darted from the blank TV wall to the naked spot where my office used to be. "But where are you going?" "Found a place. Month to month across town." I lifted my keys, metal clinking. "You wanted to live alone, right?" Her forehead pinched. "I meant I thought you'd stay here until I moved into the studio next month." I tilted my head. "Why would I do that? You said living with me was suffocating. I'm fixing that immediately." She followed me down the stairs like a shadow, sandals slapping each step. The midday heat rose off the pavement as I opened the U-Haul's rear door. "This is crazy," she said, voice cracking. "You can't just leave." I raised a brow. "Watch me. What about rent? It's due in 2 weeks. That's between you and the landlord." I closed the truck door with a thud. "Your name isn't on the lease, remember?" Her face paled. "I can't afford $2,400 by myself." I shrugged. "Should have thought about that before deciding you needed independence." The text started that night, one after another, buzzing like a trapped fly on the nightstand. "This is so immature. You're punishing me for being honest about my needs. Real partners support each other's growth." I let the phone face down. She wanted space. She got space. Sunday morning, I swung by to grab my mail and hand the keys to the landlord. I explained I was breaking the lease and I'd pay the 2-month penalty. He glanced at his clipboard, nodded, surprisingly calm. "We've already got 3 applications for the place at $2,600, he said. "Won't stay empty long." Ashley was there, eyes red, mascara smudged like charcoal. "Please don't do this. Let's talk." "We did talk," I said softly. "You made your needs clear. I'm respecting them." "I didn't mean right now." "When someone tells you they're suffocating," I said, "you give them air immediately. Not on their timeline." Her mouth trembled, then she tried a new route. "Where am I supposed to go?" "You found a studio downtown, remember? Perfect light for your photos." That's not available until next month, and the rent is $1,800. I gave a sympathetic wince. Sounds like a you problem. Before I left, I set the utilities to disconnect in 5 days when the billing cycle ended. Internet, electricity, water, all of it was in my name anyway. By that afternoon, my new place was wired up and humming. Smaller? Yeah, but it was mine. The silence there didn't feel like absence, it felt like oxygen. Monday, my phone lit up with an unknown number. I answered and got a honey-sweet voice with a serrated edge. Daniel, sweetie, this is Ashley's mother, Patricia. She's very upset. Can't you two work this out like adults? We did, Patricia, I said, pacing by the window. She communicated her needs. I respected them. She has nowhere to go. She has the studio she picked. Plus, independence means being independent from my housing and my bank account. A beat of silence. Then a hiss. You're being cruel. I'm being exactly what she asked for, I replied. Absent. Wednesday, a text from her best friend, Meredith. You're such an A***** hole. She's sleeping on my couch because of you. I stared at it for a second, then locked my phone. Some messages don't deserve the dignity of a reply. Thursday, Ashley again. The landlord says I have 3 days to leave or he'll start eviction proceedings. Please come back. I typed 2 words and deleted them. Then I put the phone down. If she felt suffocated by me, the last thing she needed was me rushing in with a rescue inhaler. Friday, security buzzed my office line. There's a woman asking for you in the lobby. I took the elevator down. Ashley stood there, clutching her tote like a life preserver, mascara blurred into soft gray moons under her eyes. We need to talk, she said, voice small. You wanted space, I said. Showing up at my workplace is the opposite of space. I made a mistake. I shook my head. No. You made a decision. Now you get to live with it, independently. Her chin lifted with a spark of the old defiance. The studio fell through. Someone else got it. Unfortunate. Meredith says I can only stay 2 more nights. Better start apartment hunting. With what money? She hugged the tote tighter. I spent my savings on photography equipment last month. The equipment for your business that's building momentum, I said. Use that momentum. She actually stomped her foot, a sharp, childish tap that echoed off the marble. You're destroying us over one conversation. I met her eyes. You destroyed us when you decided I was suffocating you but still wanted me to subsidize your independence journey. That's not how life works. I'll tell everyone what you did. Please do, I said. Tell them how you wanted to live alone but expected me to keep paying for your housing. See how that plays. Security stepped forward, voice firm but polite. Miss, I need you to leave. She glared at me, then turned on her heel and marched out, the automatic doors whispering shut behind her. That weekend, my inbox filled up with essays, paragraphs upon paragraphs about how I'd misunderstood, how she just needed breathing room, how couples take breaks all the time and come back stronger. I hovered over the first one, skimmed the familiar phrases, and dragged them to spam. Breathing room achieved. And just when the silence finally settled, something new hit my phone that made my stomach drop all over again. 2 weeks passed, and life finally started to feel, still, peaceful. My new place wasn't big, but it was quiet, the kind of quiet that doesn't make you anxious. No tripods cluttering the living room, no half-empty wine glasses sitting in the sink as artistic chaos. I could actually walk barefoot without dodging camera lenses or tangled charging cords. For the first time in months, my space felt like mine. Then Monday arrived, and my phone lit up like it was trying to catch fire. Missed calls from Ashley, her mom, Meredith, even her brother Tyler, a guy I'd met maybe twice. I ignored the first few, then curiosity got the better of me. One voicemail from Ashley. Please call me back. It's an emergency. I need to talk to you. Against every ounce of common sense I had, I called her back. Thank God, she sobbed the moment she answered. I'm in trouble. What kind of trouble? I wrote a couple checks for the studio deposit and first month's rent. They bounced. The landlord's threatening to press charges for check fraud. My jaw clenched. You wrote bad checks? I thought my client payment would clear in time, but it's delayed. Now I owe $3,600 plus fees. If I don't pay by tomorrow, he's calling the police. Sounds serious. Please, can you help me? I'll pay you back. With what money? I asked. Your business that's building momentum? Her voice cracked. Please don't be like this. I'm desperate. I leaned back in my chair. You wanted independence. This is what it looks like. I could go to jail. Then you'd better call a lawyer. Independently. A pause. Then a hiss of anger. I can't believe you're doing this to me. I'm not doing anything to you, Ashley. I'm doing nothing, which is exactly what you wanted. The silence that followed was heavy. Then she snapped, you planned this. You wanted me to fail. No, I said quietly. I wanted you to succeed. But you wanted me gone. You can't have both. I'll lose everything. You already threw everything away when you decided I was suffocating you. That's not, I just needed space. You got it. All of it. Good luck with the landlord. I hung up. Within minutes, the brigade began. Her mom called from 3 different numbers, each voicemail more dramatic than the last. You're letting my baby go to jail. What kind of man does that? Real men protect their women. Tyler texted. Bro, just help her out. She learned her lesson. I replied, learned what lesson, that actions have consequences? Then Meredith went nuclear on social media. Some men really show their true colors when women ask for basic respect and space. Watching my best friend suffer because her ex is a vindictive monster. Classic narcissistic abuse. Financial abuse. I didn't respond. But my buddy Kevin screenshotted it and replied under the post. Didn't she dump him for suffocating her? Now she wants his money. Make it make sense. And just like that, the comment section turned into a digital war zone, half defending her, half calling out her hypocrisy. Tuesday afternoon, a text came through. I pawned my camera equipment. Got enough to avoid charges. Hope you're happy with your independence. Your choice. I hate you. I typed back, you wanted space from me. Hate's just more space. Wednesday, an unknown number popped up. I answered, thinking it might be work. Is this Daniel? A hesitant male voice. Who's this? Connor. I'm, Ashley's friend. I almost laughed. Friend, right. What do you want, Connor? Look, man, she's going through a rough time. Can't you just help her out? Why don't you help her out, friend? We're not like that. Not like what? Together? I said. Because her Instagram stories from 2 weeks ago tell a different story. Silence. Yeah, I know about you, I continued. The photography workshop, that was actually brunch with you. The client meetings at your apartment. She said you were broken up. We are now. Enjoy being her life raft. Oh wait, you just want the fun parts, not the responsibilities. He hung up. Thursday, Ashley sent a long email, paragraphs about how she'd been confused, how Connor meant nothing, how she realized she'd made a huge mistake. I didn't even open it. Straight to trash. Friday morning, there was a knock on my new door. No clue how she'd found me. When I opened it, Ashley stood there, hair unwashed, same clothes I'd seen her in on Tuesday, eyes swollen and glassy. Please, she whispered. 5 minutes. 2. She stepped inside like a ghost. I messed up. I know that now. Connor was? God, he was nothing. Just attention. Validation. I don't know what I was thinking. I crossed my arms. You nuked our relationship for attention. I was scared, she said, voice shaking. We were so serious, and I'd never lived alone. I thought I needed to experience that. But I wanted you to be there when I was done experiencing it. You wanted me as a safety net, I said flatly. No, I wasn't ready for everything to be so real. But you were ready enough to take my money. She flinched. I didn't think of it that way. You never think that way, I said. You just assume I'll always be there, wallet open, while you find yourself. I love you. I shook my head. You love what I provided. Stability. Security. Someone to handle the boring adult stuff while you played independent photographer. That's not fair, she whispered. Fair? I scoffed. You told everyone I was suffocating. Made me the villain. Then when I gave you exactly what you asked for, you made me the villain again. Tell me, Ashley, which version of me fits your story better? Tears welled. I'm sorry. Cool. Your 2 minutes are up. She reached for my hand. Where am I supposed to go? Connor's? My mom's? Meredith's? They all said they need space too. The irony wasn't lost on me. She started sobbing, the messy kind, where words turn into hiccups. Please, I'll do anything. I opened the door. Do this, I said quietly. Leave. Don't contact me again. Figure out your life without me in it. You wanted independence, congratulations. You're independent. And I closed the door. The silence that followed wasn't cruel. It was peaceful. For the first time in a long time, I could breathe again. It's been 3 months since I closed that door on Ashley. Figured I'd give you all one last update, the final chapter of this whole mess. I won't lie, that first month after the doorway conversation was rough. Ashley went full scorched earth mode. She turned our breakup into a public performance, painting me as the heartless villain who financially abandoned her while she was working on herself. Meredith was her loudest cheerleader, posting mile-long Instagram stories about financial abuse and emotional manipulation. You'd think I was some cartoon CEO twirling my mustache over a pile of unpaid bills, but here's the thing about truth, it doesn't stay buried forever. Apparently, Connor, the friend who'd been circling around during our relationship, wasn't too thrilled about being part of Ashley's redemption arc. Once she was actually single and broke, he ghosted her. Within 2 weeks of her being officially homeless, he vanished. Poof. Then karma came knocking. Someone, not me, though I'd be lying if I said I didn't laugh, leaked screenshots of their texts in the comments of one of Meredith's posts. Messages of Ashley begging Connor to let her stay with him, and him replying that he wasn't ready for that kind of commitment. The same guy she threw away our relationship for wouldn't even offer her a couch. The internet turned on her fast. A week later, she moved back in with her parents. From what I heard through mutual friends, it wasn't exactly a warm welcome. Her dad was furious, not just about the breakup, but about the bounce checks and legal scare. He laid down the law, full-time job or find another place to live. So now she works at a camera store. Retail. Not photography. Her Instagram, once a highlight reel of artist in bloom captions and sunset filters, went dead silent. Meredith and Ashley's friendship imploded about a month later. Turns out, Ashley had borrowed $800 for gas and groceries, then ghosted her when Meredith asked for it back. Ashley accused her of being unsupportive and kicking her while she was down. Classic. They haven't spoken since. Then, about 2 months ago, I got an email from Patricia, Ashley's mom. Subject line, you won. The message was short. I hope you're happy. She's miserable. She cries every night. She lost everything because you couldn't forgive one mistake. For the first time, I actually replied. She didn't lose everything because I couldn't forgive. She lost everything because she threw it away with both hands and expected me to catch it. I just chose not to catch it. That's not winning. That's just choosing not to lose. No response. Then last week, I ran into Ashley at Trader Joe's. First time seeing her since that day I shut the door. She was in her store uniform, buying the cheap boxed wine she used to call college girl juice. Our eyes met across the aisle. For a second, I thought she'd say something. But she didn't. I gave a small nod and walked past. That could have been the end of it, but last night, her brother Tyler texted me. Not to guilt trip me. Not to beg for money. Just to say thank you. This is weird, he wrote, but Ashley finally admitted everything. The cheating, the manipulation, the way she expected you to bankroll her fantasy life. She's been in therapy. Dad made it a condition for her to stay at home. I just wanted to apologize for my part in giving you grief. You did what you had to do. I told him I appreciated it and wished him well. So, am I happy? Honestly, not really. Watching someone spiral isn't satisfying. There's no victory in seeing a person hit bottom, even someone who hurt you. But I am at peace. Ashley wanted to play adult, without the cost of being one. She wanted independence, funded by dependence. She wanted to find herself, but expected me to bankroll the search party. Meanwhile, I've moved on. My new place feels like home. Started seeing someone new, Jessica, from my running club. She's got her own apartment, her own job, her own rhythm. We take turns paying for dinner, and she doesn't treat responsibility like a four-letter word. It's refreshing. I drove by the old apartment a few weeks back. A young couple was moving in. They looked happy, full of that hopeful energy you only have before you learn how fragile forever can be. I genuinely hope they do better than we did. Someone asked me recently if I regret being so harsh. Here's my answer: I wasn't harsh. I was exact. She asked for space, I gave her space. She wanted independence, I gave her independence. She wanted to live alone, I let her live alone. The reality that independence comes with bills and consequences? That's not cruelty. That's adulthood. Ashley wanted the aesthetic of independence, the brave woman's journey of self-discovery, without the boring part where you actually pay rent. When I refused to fund her fantasy, the fantasy collapsed. That's not revenge. That's just gravity. Cause and effect. Ashley wanted to have her cake and eat it too, but she forgot she'd have to buy the cake once I was gone. And that's it. No soap opera reunion, no Hollywood ending. Just a woman who got exactly what she asked for, and learned what independence really costs. As for me, I'm just out here living my suffocation-free life. Peace out.